You're listening to the Anime Brothers podcast, now broadcasting live from a prison on the moon. I'm your host, Maddie, and I'm loaded with mutant DNA and depression, and I'm joined with the original drill dick himself. It's the informal earthworm.
Pulls out gun, pulls out penis.
Oh, my God. The Messiah baby just said, "You're not getting me this time, bang, bang."
Nothing personal, kid. Now I'm an old man.
Now I'm dead. Now I got swallowed by the caterpillar. Now the caterpillar exploded. Now the moon exploded. And now... okay, all right. Guess what? We're doing this month. It's another themed month. We all know how you lie. You love them. The statistics don't lie. The statistics tell some harsh truths, though, but it doesn't matter because we're covering Hiroyuki Imaishi's work all this month, so I hope you like wild, wacky, bizarre action bike adventures, because that's all we got for you. And kicking it off, we are kicking it off with his first full feature-length debut, Dead Leaves. I almost forgot the name of the anime.
Well done, sir.
Thank you. I bring a lot to this podcast that just can't be replicated, you know? People were saying, JD, too professional. Matt, just right. Doesn't even know the name of the anime.
You're the Goldilocks of anime podcasters. I've always said that.
You did. That's like the first thing you said to me. I was like, this dude's fucking weird. But yeah, no. This is one of Worm's favorite directors. Is it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I love his spirit. I love what he's got going on. Like, has he directed all of my favorite works? Absolutely not. But every time I'm like, yeah, let's check this out. Hiroyuki Imaishi, fucking Space Patrol Luluko. I just threw that on, and I was like, this is my new favorite thing. I will be obsessed with this for 3.5 months, and Matt will get annoyed. And you did, but you never let it show. I just knew it. I knew. But
yep, it was Luluko all the time.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. You just keep handing me more Hiroyuki Imaishi works, and I keep slopping it up. So yeah, I would say probably he would end. He would be number one if we did a tournament bracket of Earthworm's favorite directors.
Yeah, that would be a really intense bracket. It'd have like 5 dudes on it, but it'd still be pretty intense.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Ano. I really liked Evangelion.
But you gotta admit, episode 19 of Kare Kano is amazing. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I've not seen this work, and I've not seen next week's work. I saw next week's work when I was younger, and I didn't really like it because I was hoity and toity. I'm not so hoity and or toity now. But I'm excited. I'm excited because we're gonna be rewatching 2 shows that I think are very pivotal for me as well. So yeah, no, I'm excited for this month.
Yeah,
could be worse.
It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be wild, wacky action bike the month. High octane. We're just gonna be slamming 80 episodes worth of bullshit into 26 episode anime, or 45-minute movies plus 10 minutes of credits. Whatever we're feeling, dude. We're just gonna go full Imaishi and just throw shit at the wall, fart on the wall, and then see what sticks.
We are going to have raging boners this entire month. We are going to get headaches because there will be no blood flowing to our brain because we are watching Imaishi work. And yeah, you just don't think when you watch an Imaishi work, or at least you shouldn't be.
No. Do we want to give some thoughts on Imaishi himself? Or do you want to save that until the end? I don't know. We haven't discussed that.
Yeah, we haven't discussed that. We don't plan so good. No, we can. I got some talking points for Imaishi that we can do before Dead Leaves. We can kind of talk a little bit before that.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah, cool.
But I do have some announcements real quick. It's 9 episodes until the big 300 Anime Brothers episode. We don't know what we're doing for it. You don't know what we're doing for it. We're all going to be surprised. But 9 episodes until that. Go subscribe to our YouTube. I think it would be cool if we get 100 subs for the end of the year. But I am not doing anything where I say, please give us 100 subs and we'll do something. Because that didn't work out the last time we did it. You guys ruined it for us, all right? I'm not blaming anybody but you. You, specifically. I'm not talking to you, listener. I'm talking to Earthworm.
Oh,
shit. Damn. Yeah, if you're listening to this episode between the hours of 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. EST,
First of all, wow, damn, just as soon as it drops, you're on it. Okay, cool, love that. Well, then you still have time to vote in the Annie Bro Summer 2025 Seasonal Anime Awards for seasonal anime. It's cool. It's great. If you listen to the seasonal episode, we're going to be revealing who won. Hot competition, I got to say. Hot competition. Who knows where it could go? I don't. I've been trying not to check on the numbers because I'm scared that I'm going to see something that makes me angry. But before any of that, if you enjoy this podcast and you want to support us monetarily, you can go to patreon.com/Anime Brothers Podcast. Donate as little as $1 a month. We'll get you into the super secret Discord channel with super secret Discord chats, as well as a schedule. You get a schedule. Wow. You could watch
Patreon
alongside
rundown.
with us.
Patreon rundown.
Yeah, Patreon rundown. You could ask questions. You could ask what's up with the schedule. You could ask what's going on with anything. You get so many things, and it's only $1. It's the best value in anime podcasting, or at least I think so. And you know what? I think I'm right. I'm bold enough to say it. I think I'm right.
Yeah.
But one quick thing before we get into Imaishi, I just want to say that I hate Crunchyroll so much. Quick Crunchyroll rant because it made me mad this week. But Crunchyroll, if you don't know, is sweeping over to a new basically subtitling software called Una. It is an Israeli cloud-based software for subtitling. Crunchyroll had previously used iGSub, and the thing about Una is that it has integrated AI. And I don't know if anybody here remembers when Crunchyroll said, "Oh, we're gonna kind of use AI," and they're like, "Oh, we're not gonna use AI." But Una has integrated AI support, so it seems like Crunchyroll might still want to use AI, so they can possibly, surprise, surprise, pay their translators less. With some conflicting reports saying that Crunchyroll has already been delaying payment to staff members. I don't know how true this is. I've read multiple sources, including Sugoi Light, this dude named Nathan. There's a couple of other sources or websites that are saying similar things that are kind of saying that people working in the company who don't want to reveal themselves have been saying this. A lot of people have seemingly hated the switch over to Una. And if you are watching seasonals like I am, you will immediately notice that they have swapped over, because their new subtitles look like dog shit. And I mean that very literally, because dog shit is sometimes tiny, and these subtitles are freaking tiny, and they're kind of hard to read, especially because when they're doing typeset for certain sequences. I've not watched the show, but it's called something like Gather or Isekai or something like that. They do the menu as a separate translation wall, and I think that's really dumb. And I think it's just another way that Crunchyroll proceeds to make me angry, to make me upset, because it's just, you had a good thing. You are an anime platform. You should have the best subtitles in the business. You shouldn't be using Una, which Netflix and Hulu also use, because they're not the ones who have to thrive off subtitled content. So why aren't you using the best software you can? And I think the sub software they've been using has been pretty good. Obviously they sometimes have issues with sticking the wrong subtitles on the wrong episodes and stuff like that. But who hasn't gotten drunk and said the wrong thing at the wrong time? I don't know. Everybody, probably not everybody. Who knows? But it frustrates me, because I think that as anime becomes more and more mainstream, and I don't hate that anime is becoming mainstream, or more seen, as I would maybe call it. I'm just angry that it's kind of seeming like Crunchyroll is going, well, you know what, we need to do what the other guys are doing, and it's just, no, you do not. You need to do what you do best, and that is the subtitles. Like, that's the reason why I watch a lot of stuff on Crunchyroll, is because they have had better subtitles than Netflix, Hulu, and High Dive. It made Crunchyroll a very good choice to watch anime on. And now with this upcoming shift, I'm kind of like, man, Crunchyroll, why do you not want to be an anime distributor? What the fuck is up with you? I don't know. I'm ranting. I just needed to rant about that. I think it makes me disappointed. It makes me upset. Crunchyroll /Sony keep doing things that make me angry, that make me just so frustrated, and make me just clench my fist in passive anger outside of things like this. So it's just, what is going on? I don't know, man. I just needed to rant about that. And the only way you can even let Crunchyroll know or have any effect on them is if you unsub to them. And I know that's the problem, is a lot of anime fans are already addicted, so they don't want to do that. But you know what? If you can, and you know what, I'm not going to judge you if you don't. You should unsub to Crunchyroll, just until they change, if they want to change. But it'll take a few people, or I say a lot of people to unsub for them to go, oh, wait a minute, you guys don't like our decisions. Do a full-on Disney Plus to Jimmy Kimmel thing. I don't think it's going to get to that level. I don't think it'll even work, but, at least I'm doing it. I've unsubbed, so at least I can feel better about myself at night. Between the crying and the other crying.
Yeah, man, it's all bad. It sounds bad. God, man. I don't know. I don't really have the fire right now about it, but it is shitty. Like, I fucking hate AI. I hate that stuff. Clearly, Crunchyroll, like you said, it's not even that they want to pay their translators less. I just don't think they want to pay them. They just want to have it all fucking AI translated, AI subbed, and I'll agree with you up until, and I haven't noticed anything, but that's become much more of a dub guy. But yeah, back in my sub heyday, Crunchyroll did 100% have unbelievably superior subtitles. Like, I stopped watching a few anime on Hulu because the subtitles were like closed caption garbage. Where Crunchyroll, it was like, hey man, you're here with friends. But you are no longer here with friends. It's when your little anime convention gets a corporate sponsor, and the next thing you know, the 18 plus hentai panel's gone. And why the fuck do you even show up?
Yeah, it's kind of the problem. Like, yay, I want anime to be popularized so no little kids ever get bullied for having bleach drawings in their binders. But at the same time, I do not want Crunchyroll to say, I don't like this stuff because it's not marketable, so I am throwing it away. Piss off. Why do you like this? Fucking cringe.
Maybe the bullying was worth it.
Yeah, maybe. I think about it more and more. Maybe the bullying was kind of worth it, I mean, if it meant that I only got to see Demon Slayer, the movie, on one day at 10 a.m., instead of seeing it every other hour or having showtimes every other hour, maybe it was worth it for the bullying. I don't know. Speaking of bullying, let's talk about today's subject. All right. It's Imaishi. We're going to spit some quick Imaishi facts for the cool kids that care. And then we'll talk about Dead Leaves. We'll talk about Imaishi for a little bit, then we'll talk about Dead Leaves. Anyways, Imaishi was born October 4th, 1971. We all planned this. We planned this, right? We planned it. This is why we're doing it in October?
Absolutely. That's what we did. Yeah, we knew this already.
We did. We knew this already. He started off drawing manga for his doujinshi circle, but then he eventually just started doing in-between animations for Evangelion and working with Gainax. After that, he basically did all of episode 19 for Karai Kano. If you've seen episode 19 of Karai Kano, then you know what we're talking about. He then proceeded to do key animation for a few other shows, including Metabots and the 5th episode of FLCL, and he also directed the 3rd episode of Magical Shopping Arcade Abenobashi, one of my favorite anime to say, not to watch. He said that one of his biggest inspirations was Yoshinori Kanata, who lived from 1952 to 2009, who is best known for Birth, one of the first ever OVAs, and who is also known for working alongside Hayao Miyazaki for several Ghibli movies. And he also just helped renovate, he, of course, being Kanata, helped renovate the directorial system and anime. In fact, he was such an inspiration for Imaishi that the final episode of Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt, or at least the first season, is dedicated in his memory. So yeah, Imaishi, he's the otaku's otaku because he actually does things.
Yeah, no, genuinely. Yeah, Imaishi's he's a real dude, man. He's a real dude's dude. Just dudes being bros, guys being bros, whatever. Just likes fart jokes, thinks toilet humor is the funniest thing ever. If, I guarantee, him and his close buddies are, laughing at each other's penises and stuff. And it's just, that's the kind of dude he is. He's a frat boy. It's like an otaku with a frat boy mentality, I guess. Mm-hmm. Something like that. But yeah, the man is cultured and studied in the ways of anime and otakudom. 100%. And what I was kind of talking to you about, and this is kind of something I'm interested to dig into a little bit more as we watch some more of his stuff. But Imaishi, undoubtedly a pervert. Wicked perverted, horny as hell, just fucking wearing his dick on his sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
But normally, you can't say this next part, which is he's 100% not misogynist. Mm-hmm. He might even be a feminist, I'm not here to fucking tout up feminist icons or whatever. But I don't know. It's weird. Again, in the same man can have like guy with drill dick and butt an asshole head man coming out of his asshole, but also in every one of his works almost have like all of his fucking women characters be just as well written, just as competent, just as like they're never just I've never seen an Imaishi woman be like damsel in distress for the sake. They're not all the best tropes ever, you know. We got some in Gurren Lagann where it's like I'm a woman who's gonna save you, poor guy, and it's like all right, sure, but like he 100% loves women and he thinks women should be in positions of power, specifically domineering over him.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, his stuff always, his stuff always, I think, passes the Bechdel test. Yeah, Bechdel test.
Yeah,
they're never talking about it, men. You know, like. But he's as I said before the podcast, I think he loves women and not in like a creepy way. I think he might respect women as far as character, as like as people, as part of his society, you know? Because I can think of some. I don't think like Yoko and Nia are amazing female representation, you know?
No,
but
not necessarily. But as characters themselves, like
yeah.
I think Yoko more so. You know what I mean? Nia's kind of a little bit more bland.
Yeah.
But then you get into other like and even Dead Leaves specifically. Like Pandy is, I mean, she's the one that doesn't have her head up her ass. You know, fucking Retro's kind of a nut, dude. If it was all left up to Retro going to Dead Leaves, I don't know. Like he's kind of the comic relief where she's the meat and potatoes of the story. Kind of. I'm not trying to say that like he is out here writing beautiful and wonderfully dynamic portrayals of women. I guess it's the fact that he always it's the positions that he puts. That sounds dirty coming talking about Imaishi, but the positions that he puts women in his story, you know what I mean? Yoko is the most competent fucking fighter. She doesn't need a mech, and she's kind of like, and she's keeping up with everybody. And I know that can be kind of an overblown, you know, oh, I'm going to make a good woman character. She's going to be strong. But I think for someone like Imaishi who thrives on this high octane action, that's a really good thing, you know, for Yoko to be as fucking awesome as she is. For fucking, is it Ryoko in Kill la Kill?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay. For her to be the main character, you know what I mean? And it's all about her. I think it's definitely more there than Guy likes to fucking draw naked women for the sake of sexualizing them. You know, there's more there than that, but he also likes drawing naked people.
Yeah, well, I mean, if I had the gift of draw, then I might draw naked women and naked men and naked characters just because I could. If I had that kind of power, I might. So I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, I guess it's just like kind of what I was saying earlier. He seems like the kind of guy, like an otaku dude who is not, you know, just beside. Well, I know we don't know anything about him. He seems to just be bold declarations, but he doesn't seem like an awful kind of the stereotype that you'd see a lot as far as like Japanese otaku go. He doesn't seem to be that guy, but he does seem like he watched every single episode of Nadia the day it aired.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
And definitely loves that kind of stuff. I mean, he's literally over his, as we mentioned earlier at the top of this kind of discussion, he's celebrating one of the pivotal figures for like kind of reinventing the wheel for anime directorial sort of management. So he seems just like a cool guy. He seems he's in his hobby. He was part of a doujinshi circle. He seems like he was just into this hardcore full stop. And it's cool. I think it's cool. I think it's neat.
Yeah, no, I love him, dude. And yeah, coming from the house of otaku that is Guy and Axe, like, yeah, fucking awesome, dude. Imaishi, you're my dude. So we can get into Dead Leaves now if you want.
Yeah, sure, why not? Dead Leaves. Huh. It was a film released in 2004, but if you're in the United States, then you'll know that it premiered as part of Sci-Fi's Anna Mondays in 2008. You're going to hear Anna Mondays later on in this month because
I cannot believe this aired on American television. Fucking insane.
I can't either. It's absolutely would have had to been doctored beyond hell, but that's what I read online. The original creator is Imai Toons, who also did the mechanical designs for episodes 17 to 27 of Gurren Lagann. But you know that your boy Hiroyuki Imaishi directed, storyboarded, and was the drawing supervisor for Dead Leaves. It was produced by Manga Entertainment and Production IG, animated by Production IG, with a lot of in-between animation from other studios, including Gainax. So if you want to, and you know what, I'm start bringing this back. If you want to watch Dead Leaves, you got to go to Tubi. So good luck.
If you're not in the United States, we have no help for you. Finding off the back of a truck, or maybe it's on Tubi in other countries.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is Tubi Universal? What does Tubi have going on? Tubi's got to be Universal,
or
it's going to be owned.
Dude, so the fucking we're gonna get into spoilers for Dead Leaves. Not that any of it's gonna make sense to anybody who hasn't watched it. We promise you that. But we are gonna get into spoilers. So let's just hop right in. The scene where he got his fucking shit extracted out of him by that like weird machine thing. Immediately after that, Matt, I get a fucking ad for Amazon Prime. And I'm like, I am going to email Amazon and tell them about this, dude. They are not going to be happy. It's like, what do you mean? This is a wild juxtaposition for that. And then just like, sign up for Amazon Prime to get $5 off your next order.
But it's perfect, though. Literally, the shit's being sucked out of them. Go to Amazon.com.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, a little bit on the nose, huh?
Oh,
a little bit on the nose.
Yeah. No, it's wild, dude. Like, you got just reading the plot on Wikipedia afterwards. It was like, yeah, I guess all that stuff did happen.
Funniest thing about Tubi is I got 3 Olay ads in a row. Just use Olay rejuvenating serum to fix your skin. And I'm like, you're saying I look awful? Yeah. No, Tubi's kind of cool. I got kind of lost looking through the library afterwards. There's a stupid Yu-Gi-Oh fan movie that's on here that's just chilling. Illin, the IKEA plant shared with me, and it is cinema. It is cinema. I recommend anybody who's interested check it out. Just I don't remember the name, but just type in Yu-Gi-Oh. It's got to pop up. I'm sure it will. It's on Tubi. It's on Tubi, baby. Yeah, so all right, let's go ahead and just talk about this. What were your first impressions going into Dead Leaves? Were you excited? What were you feeling?
I mean, I was excited because it's Imaishi. I had heard Dead Leaves was absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
Looked at the cover imagery and I was like, I really don't know what's going on here. And then, you start it up and immediately it's just from 0 to 100. I was like, there's part of me that is absolutely in love with Dead Leaves, and there's part of me that's like, that was way too much and I never want to do that again. But part of Dead Leaves that I loved was like, it's the idea of like the murder hobo meme. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I came from. I don't know who I am. All I know is I must kill. Except take I must kill and replace it with all I know is I must do crime. Because immediately these fucking people are awake for, I don't know, 5 minutes. And they're like, well, we should probably do something. And then immediately they're fucking shooting at the police. It's like, hell yeah, dude. Waste no time. We don't need to know why.
Yeah, I mean, like, what is Retro's first dialogue? He's immediately says something to the effect of, we should do crime. And Pandy says, yeah, all right. It does not hesitate at all to just immediately go, and I respect that. This feels like an anime where Imaishi said alongside with the creator, just can I draw short hallways, just long hallways? Yeah, I guess we can fit a scene in like, okay, guns, just guns everywhere, firing all the time. If there's a gun on screen, it has to be fired. It cannot just be chilling there.
That's Chekhov's gun, right? That's what it means. If the gun is shown in Act 1, the clip must be unloaded immediately.
He's like, he missed the part where it says it has to be fired before the second act or whatever. He's like, it's got to be fired, right? Fired. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, you know what? I guess that's true. I mean, he kind of calmed down later on when he gets, but now that I'm thinking about Panty and Stalking, or what little I remember of it, it was, if the gun is on screen, it is constantly firing. No one ever stops firing their guns.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord, there is just the police show up in Dead Leaves, and all they do is murder civilians. Oh, well, I guess not civilians. They're technically in prison, but excessive force is excessive force.
Right. No, dude. And that's something that you kind of brought up. Like, he does learn to slow down. By the time you get to his most recent direct, but minus Panty, I haven't seen new Panty and Stocking. That's Panty and Stocking. All right, we're gonna take that and set it aside.
Yeah.
But like Cyberpunk Edge Runners, that is prime. Like Imaishi has learned when to slow down. You know what I mean? Like he's still high octane, bam, let's go. But he fucking throws in those moments of like, all right, in Dead Leaves there is no slow. Not at all. And I'm sure that has to do with like him being a younger creator. But it's like, all right, dude, I have like 50 minutes to get to tell this story and just ultimate creative expression going ham. But I think that's kind of why a reason why I love it, because it is that like starting point to Imaishi's evolution. And just kind of while I'm on this tangent, there was a scene, and I won't kind of give away the details, but like in Cyberpunk Edge Runners, you remember when the first guy died, as we'll say?
Yeah.
You know? There was like that exact scene in Dead Leaves.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was wild. I was like, oh shit, he's leaning in. Oh yeah, he's talking boom, he's fucking got shot out of nowhere. Yes, and then I just, fucking what? Almost 20 years later, Imaishi's like, I'm gonna do that cut again. But this time in real pretty animation, or art style at least.
Imaishi, always, the perpetual reuser, because we get to see a big drill in this anime, and he says, I know what I'm going to do with that later. I'm going to make that the show. Yeah. And at one point, Pandy gets basically a half of a blade that looks like a scissor, and what happens? Comes back later.
Hell yeah, dude. The man also loves what he loves.
Yeah, and also rampant sex, and that comes back later in Panty and Stocking. Like, never, ever, if it's still usable, he's gonna use it.
Oh yeah,
he's a guy.
He's a dude. But what about you though? Like, did you know anything about Dead Leaves before coming into it, or were you just like, this is Imaishi's first work, I better buckle up?
I didn't know anything about Dead Leaves. I had seen Dead Leaves like promo or something like that, like the promotional images and stuff.
Yeah.
But I had never ever watched it. I didn't know what to think of it. And by the time I finished, I said, I don't know what I think about that.
I am unsure and I'm a little uncomfortable, I think. But I'm excited. I kind of want to go like, man, if there's ever a time to rob a Brinks truck, now's the time.
Yeah, after watching that, I did feel like I could probably get away with a couple of murders,
Yeah, 100%. Or if not get away with them, at least commit them.
Yeah, no, I did feel like after I finished, I was like, I think I might want to commit some grand larceny.
Of course, as you should.
You should. Yeah, this is a wild anime, and I'm not saying that like generic YouTube poop. Like, this anime was wild. No, I mean literally, this anime never gives you a moment to breathe. A common feature of shows we like, I feel like, but no breathing time, no sense is ever applied to this show in any capacity. I didn't even think when we got an info dump halfway, like close to the end, I thought the info dump was fake. I didn't trust it. I thought the info dump was going to do something like pull the rug out from underneath me and say, psych, you really thought they were spies? So dumb. But even in the end, they're like, oh, I don't think we're really spies. We might not have been spies. And I said, yeah, okay, I get it. Just, it doesn't matter. And I mean, they literally say shortly after that, it doesn't matter what we were. I guess it doesn't, does it, Retro? It doesn't really matter, does none of this matters.
No, literally none of it.
Yeah, it's but it's fun. It's a fun watch. But I have never seen an anime more devoid of style, and like not style, but substance.
Yeah,
style out the ass, no substance here.
Yeah, it's like we're assigning our skills, and Imaishi's like, I want to be a 20 in style, and they're like, that's gonna make you not really well rounded, man. And he's like, that's okay. I know what I'm about, son. Yeah, it's absolutely batshit. And just like the plot is wild, man. Like two people fucking wake up in the desert, immediately start doing crimes, immediately get put in jail, fucking fight all the people in jail, break out of jail, crash land back into Earth in cryopods, which tells me that like this is a cyclical thing that is going to happen again. Perhaps it has already happened multiple times. So you're right where it's like the substance is really like there's a lot going on, but it's very corn syrup. Where it's like you could look at all these fucking grand design things going on. You know, they had that like generational trauma thing, this whole thing about the massive cosmic caterpillar. Like there's a lot happening. And yeah, it was all very like if you wanted to flesh out the lore of Dead Leaves, like you have bullet points you can fucking work off of. But it's not done. It's just like, oh, that'd be cool, right? Fucking giant caterpillar. Am I right, brother? But why giant caterpillar, Imaishi? You are a loser. Get out of my office.
I mean, he tries to, though. It's the whole, the caterpillar, like, nurturing themselves on dead leaves, looking up at the sky, and then they crack their necks too far. And it's, Imaishi, do you really think that's deep? He says, yeah. And I say, Imaishi. I put my hand on his shoulder. Imaishi, my guy. What the fuck does that mean?
Honestly, I think for a man with his philosophy, where it's like, it's just I think his philosophy is just go. Just hit the ground and fucking go. You know, episode 19 of Kare Kano. Well, we need an episode. This is what I have. We're just going to do it. I think maybe the the caterpillars looking up at the dead leaves is like if you're always aspiring to be something more, you know, if you're always looking to what you will be at some point, you're going to fucking hurt your neck, quote unquote. You're going to be sad. You're going to be upset. And Imaishi never seems like the guy who's like, I have this grand design for a fucking major Odyssey-like epic. He's like, I'm going to make an anime every 2 years. And this year I want to do panty and stocking.
No, yeah, I get that. That does make more sense. It's kind of what I was thinking was if you aspire too much, eventually you'll change yourself, reaching out to get those things in worse ways. I don't know. I didn't really think it was that deep. You know, I didn't think there was any sort of depth to this at all. I mean, I get the cyclical thing. I mean, it's you literally at the end you have Retro in a new body. Obviously, it's kind of implied through previous scenes that Retro keeps changing through these shenanigans.
Yeah,
in some capacity. I get it. It's completely cyclical. Who knows how many times they've done it and they've blown up the moon? Who knows? And they just keep letting it happen too. They just keep letting them do it. Me, after the third time, I would have said stop it.
Yeah, the moon was super chewed up by the time like our fucking story. You have to imagine this is not the first time.
I would imagine it was not the first time. It was not even like the 22nd time with the way that moon looked, but it was interesting. There's a lot of visual flair in this show. Too much visual flair to some regards. Like, I'm watching this on Tubi, and Tubi is not going to have this at 1080p. I barely believe that Tubi had it at 720. But I was watching this just soaking in the experience the entire time. Honestly, this is probably a really hard anime to talk about because it is pure visual. It is just pure visual.
Yeah, I mean, just the character designs. I guess we could fucking kind of shout some of those out. You've already mentioned it, but like, I just love the scenes where just bullets start flying and the entire screen is just bullets. It's so good, but it is difficult, like to really dig into the plot, like to dig into the deeper themes. I mean, we've already done that. Like, what is the dead leaves metaphor about? What is the caterpillar about? I gave my thoughts. You gave your thoughts. That's about as far as we go for fucking dead leaves breakdown. But I don't know. I guess what were some of your favorite character designs?
I honestly really liked the two gremlin dudes, the blue dude and the green guy, because they were so sharp, and every time they were on screen they were doing wild shenanigans. One of my favorite moments from this anime is when Retro takes over that mech body and pulls out all these guns, and the opponent also does the same thing, just pulls out guns out of his body, and I'm like, you can do that? And
of course.
Yes, of course. This was always an option.
Yeah, because like fucking Retro grabs a robot body, and you're like, well, that makes sense. Yeah, robot has guns. And then the man who is 100% organic is like, I also got guns. I'm a Digimon.
Yeah, so many scenes that were just that I really loved visually and how they were presenting. That was one of them. Another one was when they were trying to escape and they made like the long motorcycle snake, I guess is a good phrase for it.
Oh my god, yeah.
I love the motorcycle snake. That was just fun to see in action.
The gore in this, like the fucking complete disregard for the gore is my favorite thing, dude. They're just driving and just behind them, the machines are just fucking mincing people. And everybody's like, it is what it is, brother.
Yeah, no, this is I love the fact that it's just so unrepentant with its gore, really and truly, because it's always just guy blows up into pieces and nobody goes, oh, man.
Nope.
The first time somebody gets shot, it's slowly just portrayed for drama, and then it's, oh, wait, this is everybody's going to be done. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude, I do love that fucking shot, too. Like, hey, asshole, what the fuck are you? And then boom, out of nowhere, like the one time in this fucking 50-minute run that this anime slows down for a second. It's this dramatic, oh my god, he just got shot. And then it's just like, ah, shit, that hurt. He gets up and attacks somebody. So stupid.
Yeah. It's great stuff, though. It's so much fun to watch. But again, I finished watching it and I said, I don't know how I feel about that. What are some of your favorite moments?
I really liked when they were chasing down, like, it was during the final fight. I can't remember if it was after they pulled the guns out of their body. I think it was after, because that was like the final. But where Retro and the dude he was fighting were like fucking fighting and flying through the tube.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of toward, yeah. I just like the way that the movement as they were continuously moving, they were kind of fighting. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the ridiculous, just the way some of these fucking guys looked, man. Like, butthead, cum man, like that was. Why did we need that? I don't think we did. But like, if it wasn't there, would it still be what it is? I don't know. Like, I feel like he's integral to the story. Yeah, definitely used all real English words there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Butthead, cum man.
The kind of like sequence at the end. I love the way the caterpillar looked, by the way. Like the giant cosmic horror caterpillar. Like that was sick, dude. I maybe softer is the like less outlined for the art and the animation on that. I don't know. It gave me a very like otherworldly feeling. And I love when you mix art styles and animation styles to create that like this is not from this world. Fucking awesome. Like, hell yeah, Imaishi, now you're dipping into cosmic horror, but just like not enough for anybody to really just a little bit. Just dipping your paintbrush in, slashing a line over the canvas, and you're like, haha, here we go. So I really like the cosmic caterpillar. I think that was cool as hell. I don't know, man. It's like I want to watch this again. To just kind of, there's something in my brain, Matt, that's like, there's something here, brother. There's something deeper here, man. And I think I might just be Imaishi pilled.
Mm-hmm. I think you are Imaishi pilled.
But I think the something that is here is like we were saying earlier, we're doing a whole month on the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And to have this as our first entry is perfect because it's like all the shit that he ended up doing throughout his career is blueprinted in Dead Leaves. You know, we brought up all the examples earlier. I won't go over them again, but just so it's almost like he made this thinking that he was never going to get a chance to direct another anime. Mm-hmm. So he had to fit all of the ideas he's ever had into this somehow, some way. And then when someone's like, hey, do you want to direct a 27 episode anime? He's like, whoa, I didn't think I'd get this far. Fuck yeah, I'll use the drill.
Yeah, I think you're right, though.
And then he starts his own studio because fuck the rest of y'all. And he's like, I'm using the scissor this time and the hot lady, and I'm going to draw her fucking Her whole shit, and there's nothing you can say about it.
Oh, but he doesn't even get rid. Okay, he doesn't even get rid of. I don't know how much of Kill la Kill you've seen.
I saw like 5 episodes.
But he doesn't even get rid of the designs for like Pandy. Obviously, inspires several characters in Kill la Kill, and it's not just because of how they look. It's just their presentation. Not 1-to-1, obviously, but like no, the dude is always saying, "I like this. I want to make this. I'm going to make this." And it's just, well, Imaishi, I'm gonna let you do it. Who am I to say no?
You're right. And just like going forward, like he plays in that fucking ballpark, and then I don't know. I like when directors have a signature. You know, I like when you can see somebody's work and be like, okay, I completely and totally understand that this is an X fucking creator's work. You know, the kind of more director for hire, the kind of manager directors, it's all good. You can bring out the best, whatever. But nothing gets my jimmies rustling like watching Dead Leaves and being like, oh, that's gonna be Gurren Lagann, and that's gonna be Promare.
and that's gonna be Luluco, but just add a little bit more LSD.
But Luluco's MDMA, because like you're kind of chill, you want to fucking vibe, you're in love. This is like Dead Leaves is getting spiked with LSD without knowing.
I don't know anything about drugs. I'll take your word for it. All drugs are LSD to me.
Okay.
There's 2 drugs, LSD and weed. No in between. It's kind of like that Calvin and Hobbes means. You may think that there are 2 different types of drugs, but they fall into 2 categories, LSD and weed. Despite being made of letters, MDMA, actually weed.
Surprisingly enough.
Yeah, no, this is definitely, like you're saying, this is a lot of blueprints for what we're going to see later on. As someone who has seen most of his work, barring Panty and Stocking, I didn't really hit it off with Panty and Stocking when I was a kid or when I was younger, and I didn't hit it off when I tried to watch it to get ready for the season that just summer season.
I've watched a few episodes myself too of the first season. I've kind of started watching it for reasons you don't know. And it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Like we'll talk about it, sure, but it's
okay.
Wow, dude, high octane and just like damn, we are just going for that fucking vulgarity.
I was about to say quick sidebar about that while I've got Panty and Stocking on the brain. I told you at one point when I was watching it, I was like, man, this anime really, really wanted to be South Park, but didn't know what South Park was. And the entire English dub makes me like get weird cringes on my neck. Like at one point, and I can't remember if this happened or if this is just like a mass hallucination that occurred just within the spectrum of my household, but I'm fairly certain that Vegeta says the N-word. And I was like, no, Crazy Sabbath, you're white.
Oh man. Yeah, it's 2010 may have only been 15 years ago, but let me tell you, it was a different time.
It was a very different time. If you watch it now, it might be different. If we did talk about it, I think it would be interesting to talk about how it aged or didn't age. Who knows?
Yeah, dude. Panty and Stocking is one of a kind. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. On the list of anime, it is the anime of all time, as agreed by readers of Life magazine.
Yes, absolutely. I was actually there. I curated that list.
Yeah, you were there. I thought it was kind of weird, but I didn't question anything because I just assumed it was some more, support Imaishi shenanigans.
Yeah, I am the foremost authority on Imaishi. In the United States of America, you can look that up.
Mm-hmm. You don't even need to look it up because it's true. I am such an Imaishi person who is knowledgeable that I obnoxiously argued with my friend Jennifer in 2016 about Gurren Lagann being Gainax and it not being Trigger, and she got really mad at me. So I am also a part of that council.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, like, I guess you can like grandfather all of Imaishi's directorial works into Trigger because that studio is so him. But I don't. Yeah, we can't. We got to go by the letter of the law here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, I can say like Guy and Axe made 2 of my favorite anime.
I mean, as far as Imaishi making some of my favorite anime, he's doing pretty good numbers. I mean, 1 is a number.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I know this is your week to host, but I am curious, you don't have to get like into specifics, but like in the grand pantheon of Imaishidom, would this be towards the top, towards the bottom, somewhere in the middle?
Like if I'm just talking about all the stuff I've seen of Imaishi,
like all Imaishi's works that you've seen, where do you think this, again, you don't have to give a number, but just like top, bottom, middle, where do you think this kind of falls with the other stuff? Because I think you've watched more than I have, for what it's worth, you know what I mean? I forced you to watch Space Patrol Luluco, so that bumped your numbers up a little bit.
Yeah, the only thing by him that I haven't seen that he's like the actual full director for is both Panty and Stockings.
Okay, sure.
Those are the only ones I haven't seen to completion. And I'd have to say that this is actually going to be somewhere towards the middle just because there's such a lack of substance in it. I feel like when Imaishi has somebody behind him and maybe, and again, we can't say that this is entirely Imaishi's fault. Like it could be that the writer involved was just like, I don't know what to do with this. And then whoever took over for like, who was the writer for Gurren Lagann was just more in control. And so Imaishi couldn't go buck wild. But I think, for this being like an OVA, just a one-shot 50-minute special, it's pretty good. It's pretty fun to put on. You just put it on, turn that brain off, and just look at the pretty colors. I'm going to say safely somewhere in the middle.
Do you like it better than Luluco?
No.
Oh, okay.
I like Luluco more.
Good. I know you weren't you didn't see it as the masterpiece that I did, but yeah.
No, I had fun. So see, I had fun with Luluco. Luluco is a lot more energetic. Luluco is a lot funnier. I mean, the stuff with just the chief and all that was get me every time. I think a lot of the humor that I got out of Dead Leaves was just out of the absurdity, like the hard absurdity. Meanwhile, Luluco seems like sort of planned and pre-conscripted humor, Dead Leaves is like your friend telling you a long-winded story that's obviously made up, and then telling you something like, and then Obama was there, and then he like pulled out Joe Biden from his pocket, and Joe Biden played Blue Eyes White Dragon in defense mode, and the Blue Eyes White Dragon had the Timbs on. You're just like, okay, this is ridiculous. This is a stupid story. Meanwhile, Space Patrol Luluco felt like a more like the bit was wild but pre-planned,
Yeah, they shoplifted a city.
Yeah, they shoplifted the city. That is something you have to plan out. You can't just put that in the script and expect somebody to know how to animate that.
Just the fact that they use the term shoplift is my favorite. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, shit. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I think, I don't know, like in the grand scheme of Imaishi's works, I think this will probably end up being towards the bottom, but that doesn't mean much, you know what I mean? Like, I there's part of my heart that absolutely loves Dead Leaves. Like, that's just the absolute fucking high-octane absurdity of it. Like, how can you not? How can you not love just this much style, like you were saying? Just dripping in artistic expression and perhaps something more, but it's you're trying to find you're trying to find the donut and all the glaze, man. But it's all glaze.
Yeah, this is the anime equivalent of one of those cookies you would get that's just like 50%, like 60% frosting, 40% cookie.
Yeah.
It's sugary. It's not good for you. But if you like those cookies, then you're gonna love eating it.
For real, dude. I think we need to clip fucking Dead Leaves and start posting it rampant on like YouTube Shorts and TikTok and stuff because this is the brain rot that the kids need.
Oh yeah, this is probably anime brain rot, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's probably close to it because by the time I finished it, I said, brain hurt, must go to bed.
Dude, like, out of all the anime I've watched since my fucking brains decided I can't focus on anything, this was the one that just, like, I did not give me enough time. to Stray. You know what I mean? Because I literally, dude, I fucking blink for a minute and I'm like, oh shit, they're in prison. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of had the same way. I said, man, there's a lot going on. Oh, and the worm ate the baby that is an old man. Forgot it turned into an old man. And then the butterfly, it was just the word go written on a piece of paper, and that's all they had to animate. Was just go, never stop.
Keep on keeping on them.
Like the scenes where they did that, the scenes where they had more slower moments where they were just like basically just slow single cell kind of shots or all that, whatever you want to call that, were really noticeable just because prior to that point we were never doing anything but going. We were constantly surrounded by a diverse array of colors. So when we had just moments like that, I said, this is really noticeable. This is really lame. But one thing I do want to talk about real quick, maybe as I don't know how much we can talk about this as we're trying to wind down.
I mean, it's all good, man. We're going to have like a 3-hour episode coming later in the fucking month, so yeah.
Oh, man. I have great news for people who like people who talk. The end of the month is going to be a great day for you. And maybe the day before that. We're working on that one.
It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, no, the dub, though. I really liked this dub.
It's so good.
It was so corny, and it deserved to be. It would be nonsensical if this was not a corny dub, and it delivered.
Yeah, if this decided any part of this took itself seriously, no fucking way.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, they needed the dub actors from that time period to voice this because you needed people who were just over dramatic and didn't know how to do subtlety at all. Great stuff. I don't even know who did any of the dub roles. I could look it up real quick, but I didn't recognize. I mean, there's only like 10 people in this cast. I mean, my anime list will probably tell me right off the bat, I bet.
Almost definitely.
Retro is Jason Lee.
Oh,
the
shit.
Skater?
Okay.
No, different Jason Lee. Whose best performing role was Retro. Yeah, who did Pandy? Well, we got this. Well, I'm thinking about this. Wendell Lee? Okay, that tracks. No, not even Wendell Lee. Amanda Winley, who is also married to Jackson C. Lee. Who's Jackson? Who's Jackson?
All
Lee?
right.
Okay, all right. I'm about to end this. Oh, it's just because my anime list misspelled Jason. Wow, they were married. That's where the chemistry came from. That's what I'm gonna believe. Do you know who Amanda Winley voiced?
No.
In Evangelion?
No.
It was Ray.
Oh, I've never listened to the original dub.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're fake as hell. My bad.
What the fuck do you mean, dude? I have to spend like $130 to get the fucking DVDs for it now.
Yeah, but you didn't listen to it dubbed. You fake Ava fan.
What the fuck? The one time I get shit for fucking watching a sub. The one fucking time. Fuck you guys. All right? Fuck the lot of you. All right? I'm the only one here having the real fucking otaku experience. Well, go back to your fucking Anna Mondays bullshit.
Anna Monday. Hey, I'm just saying. There's a reason why people remember that dub, you know? I'm just saying. Why are you mad?
Yeah, because they were 14 when they watched. I watched Evangelion as a man.
I did too, you motherfucker. I watched it as a grown-ass man watching it in Discord. Fucking, what do you mean?
I don't know. Just yelling.
Okay, it's fair. We got to keep the energy up. It's very, very Dead Leaves coded of us. Yeah, I don't know how much more we can talk about this really and truly. It's a 50-minute OVA. Like, what do you want from us?
Yeah, I think this is this is shaping up to be more of a primer for Imaishi October, where we're going to look back and the more like the things that we cover and the things that we talk about that we've watched that we're not covering, we're going to keep going back and going, yeah, but this reminds me of Dead Leaves when this reminds me of this in Dead Leaves. You can see his original idea of this in Dead Leaves. Mm-hmm. So I'm really looking at this as a primer. Watch Dead Leaves if you're sitting out there. It's so worth a watch. It is intense and kind of gross, but like if you like Imaishi, even if you just like wild animation, if you just give a shit about what we recommend you to watch, go grab Tubi. It's fucking 100% free. Just watch Dead Leaves. It's worth the experience, if nothing else.
Yeah, all right. So I guess we can kind of give this a number and then walk away from it if you want to. You want to go first?
I guess, man. 8 out of 10. I think 8 out of 10, especially comparing it to like my previously like least liked Imaishi work was probably Promare. Again, nothing against Promare. It's just like, oh, this is Gurren Lagann, but movie. Okay, I like it. I love it, but do I want more of it? That is the question, and I'm not so sure. So I like it a little bit less than Promare. It's not the masterpiece that the rest of fucking Imaishi's works are to me, so I'm gonna slap an 8 out of 10. That feels appropriate.
All right. Are you including that Star Wars one shot in it as well, or
no? Well, okay, man. I'm gonna have to rewatch that because that didn't really I didn't know what I was talking about then. Clearly.
All right. Here's how I'm gonna go. So I watched it. I did in fact love it. I watched it just as kind of a palate cleanse because I just saw a show that really made me sad, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch this for next week's episode. I better go ahead and knock it out. And I did. And I said, damn, I am actually tired from watching that. My elderly brain can no longer handle too much information. And this shows why. It was very just frantic, manic even. And I loved it. I loved the fact it was just so hardcore indulgent in just being a piece of visual media. It's what I would love anime to be. It's visual media, lead into it. And because it was a dub, and I think I watch all of Imaishi's works dubbed. Like, I think that is factually a factual thing. The only one I have not done that is for Kill la Kill, and that's just because I had to find that off the back of a truck because it was the olden days, and for me, and it was the only way I could find it was off the back of a truck. Anyways, point being, I got to see it dubbed. I got to take in the animation. I got to savor it, and it was wild. It was like putting 6 or 7 Jolly Ranchers in my mouth and then like drinking some Orange Crush. It felt good and it felt bad at the same time. But at the end of the day, I said 7.5, and I kind of think it is a 7.5. No substance at all to it, but it is a fun watch. It's 50 minutes on Tubi. There's no reason not to watch it if you're just curious. If you want kind of like Imaishi's resume, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of there. Everything's almost there. But I had a fun time. Great way to start this off. Really a good hors d'oeuvre anime.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%. Real easy watch. And just like, again, what a better primer. Can we think of another creator that we have covered or will cover where it's like everything you need to know about this guy 50 minutes in and out?
Yeah. No, absolutely not. I mean, like didn't we have to watch Nadia for Anno?
Yeah, like what the fuck? Nadia says nothing about Evangelion except like, oh shit, he really likes the Bible.
He really likes that book. Damn.
Oh shit, yeah. alternate Bible verse? Hell yeah, bro.
A lot of Catholicism is just Bible fan fiction, and if I'm to believe the internet.
I mean, the demonography, Bible fan fiction.
Oh. True enough. But yeah, that's our start to Imaishi October. It's gonna be fun. Again, we were so hard this entire time. I'm feeling a little lightheaded because my doctor said specifically if I have an erection lasting longer than 1 hour, then I need to call him. So I'm gonna go call my doctor. Meanwhile, Worm over here is going to be learning how to bake bread and serve it up to the hungry customers at his granddad's store that he's never talked about before, never mentioned before, had no even inkling that his granddad had a store. Yeah, this is probably going to be a filler arc. Welcome to the filler arc, where we talk about all the things we did this week because, hey, it pays to be self-indulgent if people like you. Please like us. And yeah, we're going to talk about some of the things we did this week. Going to be kind of a short run, short little thing. But hey, some of you seem to not care anyways. What are you doing this week? What is Ghost? I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's so it's like it's a sitcom. It's a sitcom. Not like multi-camera sitcom or whatever. Kind of a new style traditionally shot, not frustrating sitcom. But Kelly has been watching it. She's been watching it for a while now, and I kept catching some episodes, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is pretty funny." So I made her sit and rewatch it with me, and I think we're into season 2. And I'm not much of a sitcom guy, you know. I rag on a lot of I rag on a lot of the sitcoms, and I do think that the multi-camera setup, I don't like the multi-camera setup that a lot of sitcoms have. Something about it completely turns me off. But Ghost is good. I'm not saying that it's like a transformative piece of media that needs to win all the Emmys, but it's good. I haven't checked out. I know it's based off of a UK version.
When I went down for my dad's to handle my dad's affairs after he passed, my mom made me watch the show.
Oh shit!
I
Okay.
just saw the actors from it and said, "Oh yeah, I remember seeing the guy who plays Jay or whatever, and going, man, his jaw's really square."
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, no, I think I might like it because I'm a little bit of a history buff. You know what I mean? I like that stuff, and because there's ghosts from all these different generations, they kind of play off of different jokes from different eras. And I don't know what Die Hard is, or the lady from the Gilded Age like cannot stand Irish people, and she's at one point she's like, "Oh, I cannot believe the one good Irish person is the one I've made friends with," and it's like, what the? That's funny. But I just figured I'd shout it out. You know, I haven't been doing too terribly much. Most of my week has been taken up with Call of Cthulhu, but I try not to spend successive weeks talking about the thing I've been doing. But I've been doing a lot of prep for my Call of Cthulhu campaigns with Ghost. I think it's a really interesting show. I think it kind of touches on some of the darker things that, you're a ghost, you're watching people live around you, you're alive for 1,000 years. That's kind of horrifying. This is not played for horror, though it does kind of touch on the tragedy of that whole situation. And it's made me think, I would enjoy a series in a darker tone where it's like a ghost has to kind of sit and watch things unfold in front of him. I don't know, not that I'm like a prose writer or whatever. I'm not I never aspired to be an author, but it did make me think maybe I could write a little short story of I think I'm dead. I know I'm dead, just from the perspective of somebody kind of watching without the ability to interact with the world around them.
Okay. All right. Weird to see that a sitcom had that effect on you.
I'm a strange fella.
Yeah. I personally, when I watched it with my mom, I was kind of out of it,
Of course.
Given the circumstances. But I did think it was funny. There was something involving the main character's mom or something like that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty funny. I thought there was a subplot with a dance or something going on, and there were cholera victims, and I was like, "Oh, cholera, that's always fun."
The cholera ghosts. I love the cholera ghost, dude. The main cholera ghost is the reason Kelly started watching it. Betsy DeVoe. I don't remember. I think it's Betsy DeVoe. But I know her first name's Betsy. DeVoe might be something from an old literary book a name that I know. Either way, she does a lot of she does some stuff on Dropout, and we've seen her on there before. So when Kelly saw her in the preview, she's like, "Yeah, fucking let's give it a shot." She's funny on there, and she's fucking hilarious, dude. Just her demeanor, her attitude. She's like, "Oh yeah, just ignore the cholera ghosts. We're not good enough for you." They're all obsessed with the water heater.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
Yeah. It's so fucking funny, dude. All right, yeah, that's me. That's I've been watching a sitcom. Woohoo. Matt, you've been just keeping on that Imaishi train, playing horny gotcha games, baby.
Yeah, all right. Well, first of all, one of my cats got diagnosed with cancer, lymphoma. Okay, all right. Sorry, downward moment. Everybody.
Well, I'm not saying you could share it. I'm just saying it didn't end up on the dock. I knew about it. I didn't know if it was coming up. I wouldn't have led with horny gotcha game if I knew that was coming.
Now you've made yourself look bad, me look bad, everybody looks bad now. No, yeah, I was just gonna say real quick. Well, why I've not really done a whole lot, because I was kind of depressed for a good bit this week. Yeah, no, one of my cats, Zeus, has not been breathing well, so he got sent to we sent him to the vet, and he is currently the new cat producer. of this podcast. Every single work I do has a cat producer. It's just part of my contract that I signed when I did this. Formerly it was Nora. Now it's Zeus. Both of them had cancer, so correlation or causation, who knows? But yeah, no, he has lymphoma, and he's kind of a little tired boy. But he's been, after we got him seen and he got the fluid drained from his lung, he's been doing a lot better. But it kind of made me a whole downer this week. I kind of just wanted to turn my brain off and just not do a whole lot or participate a whole lot outside of just exist. So I played Snowbreak because Discord has this thing. If you use Discord, you've seen it. It's obnoxious. It's this whole quest thing where they're like, if you watch this 70-second ad, you'll get a little icon of Hank Hill on a riding mower. And I'm like, hell yeah, give me that riding motor, Hank Hill. And then, or you'll get coins so you can buy things for your profile or whatever. And Snowbreak was one of the ads where like, play 15 minutes of Snowbreak and you'll get 700 coins. And I said, okay, I'll just boot it up and then do something else. But then I booted it up, and the people online were saying, turn your censorship to 1 instead of 0. And I said to myself, okay, I will. And I did. And it's a pretty, it's a horny game right now because they're having a beach event going on, And, but the problem is that I actually kind of like playing Snowbreak. I actually kind of like playing Snowbreak. It's just a shooting third-person game. It feels really satisfying to shoot guns. It's a gacha game, so I'm trying to roll to get the best girl. But the game is kind of weird because it's like, okay, you can get this girl, but what you need to get is her outfit. That's going to cost you actual money, which is, at least they're up front, They're not saying you've got to roll till you get the girl in the costume. You've got to first roll the girl, and then you can, with real world money, pay for the costume. Like, it's still scummy. It's still a crappy practice. But hey, at least they're up front. They're not like...
Yes, that sounds way worse, though. I don't know.
Okay, all right. You know what? I'm just trying to delude myself because I want both. I want the girl and I want her swimsuit, okay? I'm not going to get it because the game is also kind of stingy with giving out the currency, but whatever. I'm having fun with Snowbreak's little shooter missions,
Sure.
They're fun. I click on things, the numbers go up, I do dodges, I shoot more things. I get every single... It's also got a ridiculous plot. It's a harem game, but instead of it being, ooh, woo, I think I like you, protagonist Chan, they're all married to you, and they are all regularly kiss you, or your main character. Like, anime bigamy. What can I tell you? What can I do?
Finally, the husband experience.
But it's fun, and it's the only game I've been playing this week due to various events. So there you go. I've been finishing up on seasonals too for the upcoming episode, but I'll let that episode speak for itself. All right. That is some good bread that you have made, Earthworm.
I burnt my fingers.
You know what? I'll give that a little kiss later when nobody's looking, because it's not like I like you or anything, Baka. But you know what? I think right now I'm gonna go into some canon stuff and go into the Patreon rundown.
You need a rundown of your clients? Can you get that to me?
When did you need that rundown by?
You started on that rundown yet?
Welcome to the Patreon rundown, where our beloved patrons, with their hard-earned dollar that they've given us, they get to ask us any question they want. And they did not take advantage of it this week because we only have 3 questions. You got to get on it, guys. I know we've been more selective about our questions, but you got to try, all right? You got to try.
Okay. It's okay. I like the questions, but, I'm always an EP boy, so...
Yeah, he's always an EP boy when we do this, but 3 questions, all 3 of them pretty okay. First up is Sightless. Sightless asks, have you ever been in deep thought, and despite that, you feel like you're being restrained or held in a cage? Like you can think more, but something is holding you back. Another way to put it, you actively feel the limitations of your brain.
Kinda. Mine's the opposite, though, is I need a fucking cage for my brain. Because I'll be in deep thought, and I'll just go. It doesn't even matter. Be sitting there thinking. Like the other day, I remember having to genuinely be like, I'm trying to think of Call of Cthulhu stuff, all right? And I'm trying to think of like this specific thing. I'm like, all right, how do they figure out that this person's the bad guy? And I'll be like, all right, what about this and this? And then I'll be like, all right, yeah, and then this, and then maybe I'll do maybe in their next campaign I'll write myself. And oh, what about ideas for that? And oh, I wonder if any of the books are on sale. And it's like, no, stop it, Earthworm's brain. Go back and think about and multiple times I have to like redirect my stupid ass brain. So, I don't know. Like I always feel the limitations of my brain, but it's never like I could be thinking more. It's like, bitch, you need to slow down. You need to focus. Get in our goddamn lane. So I can come up with the solution to this tiny little thing it's stupid role-playing game thing. It's not that big a deal, but my brain's like, ha, good luck, buddy.
I have never had overwhelming brain problems. I guess it's just maybe I do have small, smooth brain. I kind of get what Sightless is saying. There have been several times when I'm trying, like, I know that I know something, right? And maybe this isn't what they're talking about at all, but I know that I know something. Like, I know I've experienced. I know that I know that it's a thought I can think. I'll know that there is some term that I'm familiar with and I can whip this out, but my brain just won't get there. It'll be like, yeah, I got it, buddy. You ain't getting it, though. Not for you. Today, you're going to say it's a somewhat squishy thingy. And then I'm going to say, yeah, somewhat squishy thingy. And that's kind of the experience for me.
I do get that, though, especially with podcasting, because it's like, all right, you are being recorded and you have kind of one chance to say this.
I know, right? Like, amazing vocabulary when I'm not being forced to talk into a mic. But when I'm forced into a mic, I'm saying, single shot thingy, action shot, flippy doopy. And it's just, this is the dumbest motherfucker to ever talk into a microphone.
Oh, sometimes you'll message me and you'll hit words where I'm like, shit, I gotta look that one up. Like, your vocabulary is ridiculously high, but it's just, I completely get it, man, where it's like, you're just trying to talk and you have to go with what the shit your brain is serving you. Yeah. Your brain is throwing you letters off a Scrabble board and you gotta run with it.
Writing is so much easier for me, though. I could write, like, if it came to writing, people would think I'm eloquent. They would think that I am a lot smarter than I actually am, but then they hear me talking, they're like, oh, that dude don't know shit. That's a dummy. But yeah, I kind of get where Sightless is coming from. I sometimes think I know there's a galaxy outside my front door, but I just can't find a way to unlock the deadbolt. And so I just end up going, well, I could be galaxy brain for maybe.
My brain is too dead leaves to have any substance.
Fair enough. Next up, we got a question from Alex Cream de Poof. You can only bring back one. The rest will haunt your dreams every night until you are debt-free. So every night. We got Billy Mays, Bob Ross, Chadwick Boseman, or Jimmy Carter.
I just bought a house, Alex. Fuck you. Until I'm debt-free. Thanks. It's just 38 years of this. Bullshit. God, I don't.
So, I think there is a good strat to this, and it's not because he's a good person or in any capacity. You might have to take Billy Mays because you don't want to just be chilling on your toilet thinking they're finally gone and then, hey, Billy Mays here. It's not gonna be good for you.
No, probably not. But like, I know everybody said that like Chadwick Boseman was a good guy, but I just he's not nearly as soft of a man as like Bob Ross or Jimmy Carter. Like Bob Ross and Jimmy Carter, I don't know that they could hunt anything effectively. It would just be like they're there, and if I can get used to there being like terrifying, not even terrifying, if I can just get used to seeing Bob Ross and Jimmy Carter in my dreams, I think I'll be okay. Billy Mays could be funny. Yeah, I think you're probably right, man. I think the strat is Billy Mays because I don't think Chadwick Boseman will be yelling at me all the time.
Yeah, I don't think Chadwick, like, if it's just like a ghostly form, then Chadwick Boseman will just make me go, man, the Black Panther movie was really good. And then I'll be like, oh no, I can't remember any other Chadwick Boseman movies. Am I a bad person?
And then he'll just make you feel bad about it.
Yeah. I don't know, though. If I get to, like, you also got to think about who you bring back. I kind of always, like, I used to think Jimmy Carter was really cool just on concept. You know, he's like, what? He's in King of the Hill, and he's not actually in King of the Hill, but he's a character in King of the Hill for.
No, you're right. That was Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. And, yeah, you know, the King of the Hill discussion had to pop up somewhere, folks. I think Jimmy Carter would be fun. I'd be like, so what's it like owning a peanut farm, Mr. Carter? And he would just tell me with a southern drawl. I'd be like, well, now it's quite an event. It's quite a venture, I must say, Mr. Matthew. And I'll be like, oh, don't call me that. I don't know. I just from what I know about Jimmy Carter, the person, I think it'd be cool to talk with him. Bob Ross is also really cool. You know, I think I might go with Jimmy Carter.
This is a wild assimilation of people, though. Assembly of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're right. Like, there is simply one person on here who is probably not the best dude in the world.
Yeah.
And I think it's Billy Mays. I think if I remember correctly, Billy Mays you didn't really want to hang out with that guy outside of work.
Fairly certain he died from a coke overdose.
Yeah, and the rest of these people, I don't think were into cocaine. And like, look, I'm sure cocaine can be a lot of fun, but I never want to hang out with somebody who's quote unquote into cocaine. That's a lot. I can't handle that. That's dead leaves without the fun.
Yeah, I also don't know what a drug is, so where does it fall on my sliding scale of LSD and weed?
Cocaine is the same as sugar, Matt. Just eat it and it will make things taste sweet.
Oh, okay. All right. What would happen if I put cocaine in a pipe and smoked it, like freebased it? Would that turn out well for me?
Yeah. I can't think of a single time where that has gone bad.
I've never heard of someone freebasing cocaine and it not work out well for them.
No, honestly, what you want to do is like mix it with baking soda. You make it turn into little crystals, and then you can sell them to holistic mothers.
And you can also then take the money and run, and then have Carlos get really angry at you and send his men after you. Oh, Carlos, you son of a bitch! I'll never go back to El Salvador.
Is that an American Dad reference?
No. What kind of? Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Principal fucking Lewis.
Yeah. You're right.
Didn't he have fucking cartel connections?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I remember the bit. You're right. It's he was a cold motherfucker, but he was smooth once you got to know him. Something like that. I remember that bit.
Yeah.
Principal Lewis, great American Dad character. Ends of days, bitches. Oh man. How are you an educator, Brian? I'm more of a supervisor, actually. American Dad. We also like that show on this podcast.
It's great.
Great. All right. Speaking of great, our last question comes from, well, it's not even a question, it's just a demand. Our last demand question, a demand-estion, comes from IKEA Plant. They say, thoughts on whole anime tourist debate and everyone losing their minds on Joey the Anime Man and anime not being that deep or political. IKEA Plant is referring to a bit that Joey the Anime Man said about One Piece not being political and about anime not being overtly political. I'm paraphrasing here. Anyways, big jackass thing said by Joey the Anime Man, as is tradition.
Yeah, I've also seen him, like, I watched it, and I can't exactly remember all the context right now, but I watched a clip of, like, him going off on, like, an anime tourist thing or whatever. Him just kind of, like, I don't know, man. I think he... So first of all, I guess I'll tackle the anime is not political. And I remember I listened to the Trash Chased episode with that Hassan streamer guy who's like fucking a leftist, but people don't like him. I don't know what his deal is. Either way, he was talking about how One Piece is inherently revolutionary. And I'm not a One Piece fan, but everything I know about One Piece, I can agree. It sounds like a very anti-establishment, anti-fucking government thing. It from what I've heard, it almost sounds like an anarchist piece of media. I'm sure there's more to it, but yeah, there is 100% political fucking ideologies baked into One Piece, and anybody who doesn't want to see it is just denying that fact, and that's very frustrating to me. Where I think we've been pretty chill about people like, look, man, if you just want to do the quote unquote turn your brain off and watch anime, like that's fine. All right. If you don't want to get into the deeper intellectual discussions, that's okay. But don't tell other people that do want to get into it that they don't exist. You know what I mean? Like, Dead Leaves discussion we just had. You didn't see anything deeper in Dead Leaves. I am trying to grasp at straws to find something, but at no point did you look at me and say, you're an idiot and you're wasting your time for trying to dig into Dead Leaves. You know what I mean? Even though that is a pretty good example of something you might want to tell somebody, hey man, this ain't the piece. This ain't the piece to dig into. And I just think that's frustrating. I think it's so frustrating when, like, again, you don't have to give a shit about stuff, but stop telling other people that they're wrong for giving a shit about stuff.
Right. So the thing about this anime not being political is, like, if you want to take any piece of media at face value, then that's just what it's going to be. And anime obviously conveys stories that transcend being political and touch on the human experience, And there are obviously a lot of shows that are really political. Like, did he watch is my question. Like, did you watch a show like Psycho-Pass and say, oh, it's so funny, so cool cyberpunk?
Yeah,
wow.
There's no politics in Psycho-Pass. This is this is just about Cool Gun.
This is just about Cool Gun. Tell people if they bad or not. Wow, so cool, Like, did you not look into, like, and you can obviously just look whatever you want into, but even in something as just shallow as Code Geass, are you saying that that's not overtly political in some way, even if it is ham-fisted? With Britannia is evil, but Britannia is evil for what reasons? Because it's like an imperialist society. Why is it an imperialist society? Like, there are cathedrals all around for those who have eyes to see, and I don't think Joey the Anime Man has much of eyes to see for anything around him as far as it concerns that, because he doesn't want it to be. Because anybody could be that way. Anybody could be like, I don't want anime to be that, and you can just ignore it. You can just ignore it if you want to. You can just say that Puella Magi Madoka Magica is just about scary Maho Shoujo, and it doesn't say anything about the exploitation of women and young girls. It's just scary magical girl anime, and you could down a whole bottle of stupid pills if you want. Yeah. Or you can just take a couple and be like, yeah, I know there's something here, but I don't want to think about it.
If I'm being a little, and this might be me getting a little too deep into this, but like I listened to Trash Taste for a while, you know what I mean? I got a decent idea of Joey the Anime Man's takes and how he feels about stuff, as any listener would, I don't know the guy personally. It comes off so much like at one point this man was the authority on anime, or one of the major authorities on anime. If he told you an isekai was good, you'd believe it, type thing. But it doesn't seem like he has the ability to look, which I think a lot of fucking Anitubers do this, where it's like with being able to review something outside of it being an anime, talking about the subversion of anime tropes, being able to compare a modern day shonen to all the fucking shonen that's come before it. Like, that is the only kind of fucking analysis that I've ever really gotten from those guys. This is good because reflecting against other anime. But when you actually try to analyze it like a piece of fucking media, like you were kind of taught to analyze a fucking book in your high school literature class, when you start to look at the fucking deeper meanings and the fucking, what is this anime informed by? If you were to take a look at fucking anything that, like, I don't know fucking if Oda's a private person or whatever, but I'm sure there's something out there that would inform you on his fucking political beliefs and how they fucking play into One Piece. And I think he comes off as somebody who's so terrified to have people who are talking around him, you know what I mean? Where the discussion doesn't have to funnel through him. And that, with even him being like, I don't really watch anime anymore. At least that's the vibe he was on when I was last listening to Trash Taste. It's like if I came out here and was telling millions of people, like, you're an idiot for fucking thinking this. I'm telling a couple hundred people, but I know my fucking audience, man. You know what I mean? Like, I know my size. I'm just shooting the shit with some buddies, all things considered.
Well, I mean, and that's kind of the problem with any person who achieves a big measure of success is that they get an inflated ego and start to, start eating that, they start getting high off their own supply. They start, eating their own, their own cookies. And I think I didn't like Trash Taste. Like when it came out, I didn't listen to it. I didn't watch it. I didn't do anything like that. I was like 4 months deep into Otomel. I had bigger things to worry about.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh shit, pandemic. Oh shit, I got podcasty thing to do. And I'm unsure of how to do the future and what is editing this audio. And Audrey, just do it. I'm scared. Because, Audrey did a lot of that stuff early on. And I just didn't listen to it because I didn't really enjoy it. Like, I didn't find their chemistry that good. I don't know. That's beside the point. The point being, I don't really trust Joey the Anime Man to give me reasonable takes, and I don't think it's right to say that anime isn't political or isn't inherently political. I don't think that's true because you're basically being demeaning to the people who put in the effort to make their stories political, who make it so that they can tell stories just beyond your traditional good guy fights bad guy and good guy achieves new form and beats the bad guy. Like, I'm not caught up to One Piece. I stopped at Whole Cake Island. I've been at Whole Cake Island for forever, But you cannot tell me that a character who is a pirate, who acts as a full anti-authoritarian figure and goes out of his way to basically not even enlist others to overthrow the government, but does things that would be considered acts of treason and war, like shooting down a Marine flag or, literally attacking the upper crust of society because they are the upper crust of society. You cannot tell me, as shallow as that may be, as far as a message to dig deep into, as shallow as it may be, you can't tell me that there is not some form of at least mild political discourse to be had.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
100%.
I think it's stupid otherwise not to think so. The other thing, tourists. Have we ever talked about? We've talked about tourists before, yeah.
We've had kind of
the anime men, yeah.
Yeah, we've had conflicting thoughts, go back and forth. Where it's like, I after kind of digging into some of the discourse, I'm definitely afraid that kind of sect of the anime fandom that's fucking gatekeepy and shitty has taken the anime tourist term and really started to use it to anybody who criticizes anything about anime.
Oh.
So recently I've been hesitant to use it, but we have had this discussion. I think a few months ago we did like a whole episode on it.
Yeah, they've absolutely weaponized it to the detriment of having any civil conversation. There is a group of people who use that almost as one who is hateful towards a group of people would use it as a slur,
Yeah, dude. And that's the frustrating part about it is we can't, like you said, we can't have a discussion of like, there are some people who would genuinely come in and be like, fucking, I want anime to change. And there are some people who might be bringing up legitimate fucking discussion points that it's like, oh, you're just an anime tourist. Don't criticize the thing I love. It's like, we don't get anywhere doing that.
No, but Joe, okay, first of all, here's the thing about Joey the Anime Man. I got a recommendation for this video he did on tourists or whatever. And immediately he started off with this fucking just intro that made me cringe and go, who is this dude? And then I saw, oh, this is the Anime Man. Okay, never mind, bye. He was like, a lot of people have been asking me for my take on this, and just, okay, yeah, I'm sure that, okay, whatever. And I even watched this dude breaking down the Anime Men's apology, because they apparently apologized for their shit video.
Oh.
Yeah, it was, watching the video felt very disingenuous to me. Disingenuous like the actual Anime Man video where we made a bad video. It was a bad video and we just wanted it felt so fake. And beside the point, it felt very just face value. We just want you guys to like us again, stop clowning on us. But tourists to me, as far as some people like Joey might define it. I've seen it as someone who goes on Twitter, as someone who goes on social media, I've seen it weaponized for people who just have dissenting anime opinions, People who maybe don't like fan service and they publicize and they say something maybe a little bit harsh, like saying like, "Oh, you like this anime? You're a pedophile," you know, which of course is going to attract ire because there are people who are going to say they're going to be it's just a drawing crowd, you know, and they come at each other and it's you're a tourist for this or you're a tourist for that, and there are legitimately tourists, you know, like there are legitimately people who are coming in here because of Demon Slayer, because of JJK. Because of anime that is meant to entice people. There's a car honking outside. Is it stopped? Okay. Because they're anime that are meant to entice people. They are shonen is king in anime. It attracts the most people. It usually keeps the most people for reasons, you know? And that's going to make people tour anime, you know? And I'm so exhausted with it kind of being a term meant to defile someone's interest in this hobby. Honestly and truly, like, because all of us started out as tourists, you know? Before I moved to where I am now, I was a tourist because I had to look at the lay of the land. I had to go see what was available in the town that I am living. I had to view it before I moved. And that's kind of how hobbies in anime are. You don't just plop yourself into a hobby. You don't just immediately buy the Lego kit that's got 9,000 pieces. You try it out. You try out the one that's got 200 pieces. You don't just immediately read Gravity's Rainbow when you first learn how to fucking read. You go for smaller things. The Hungry Caterpillar. You work your way up. You go to Junie B. Jones. You don't start at the fucking Dark Souls of books. And
you
that's
start
anime.
with Cormac McCarthy.
You don't start with, you know, what's that stupid anime I'm actually watching? I was watching it. You don't start with Liner Prisma Ilia as your first anime, you know? You don't do that. You start with simple things. You tour the environment, and then you settle down once you're comfortable. And some people, it's just tourists to them. They watch the big shonens. They come around when the new season of Dawn to Dawn opens up. They come around when there's a new Demon Slayer. They come around when there's a new hit shonen, and then they go back to their other hobbies or their other interests, and they are tourists. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know? It is only, as we've said multiple times, it's only a problem when they come around and they start acting like they dictate what we like, you know? Maybe in some tourist hotspot destinations, like Orlando, the tourist is king, but not anime. Anime is a destination. And once you arrive here, if you're going to come here for a while and stay here for a while, eventually you're going to have to at least get a summer home and realize that you're going to have to see 17-year-olds naked. It is just, I don't make the rules, I just cruelly enforce them.
Imagine I feel like calling someone an anime tourist is something you can only do in an online setting. Yeah. Imagine having a discussion with somebody in real life where they're like, yeah, dude, I checked out Demon Slayer and that stuff's really cool. So I wanted to check out some more anime and a buddy recommended me Kill la Kill. And honestly, it was a little much for me. Maybe a little uncomfortable. I don't know that we needed all that, you know what I mean? And someone's like, what, are you an anime tourist? And it's like, no, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? What do you mean? Is all you do? Because like as people who have dedicated a good chunk of our lives to watching anime, I feel like being like, yeah, all I do is fucking watch anime, dude. I watched all the anime. I lived here my whole fucking life. It's like, bro, chill. It's okay, dude. It's fine. If that's what you do, I'm happy for you, man. But, you know, and wear it as a badge of honor, but don't wear it as a goddamn fucking riot shield.
Yeah. No, don't use it as a deflector for criticism either, you know? Like, to be a fan of something, you have to love it. And part of loving something means you have to see its flaws. Like, I love anime, but that does not mean that I think anime is perfect.
And just because you've watched 600 of something doesn't mean you don't still have dog shit opinions. Yeah, like that's something I need to clear up. Like just because I've watched so many anime doesn't mean you can. And I'm not calling out anybody specific. You could even say this about me. Doesn't mean you have the fucking any more authority than somebody. Doesn't mean you can analyze media any better than anybody else. You might be familiar with the tropes. Media is so much more than tropes, homie.
It's kind of one of those things that even like literary discussions, anybody can contribute something worthwhile, even if they've only read a handful of books, you know, as long as they bring that insight to it. Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, either way, I just like Anime fans getting all up in arms about stuff. Y'all just need to chill out. It's okay. Everything's fine.
At the end of the day, people are going to be how people are. And that's kind of the thing, is that people are going to constantly have a term that they want to use for describing people who aren't like them, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the issue. And anime is one of those things that I think is also it's been besieged by people who are kind of worsening what some fans who've been here for a while like, you know, by saying like, we don't like this fan service, we don't like this, we don't like this. And it is kind of something that they've grown to enjoy, and they've kind of gotten to have the privilege of having it be an integral part of their hobby for a while, and that's making them also bitter. I see. My thing is, I can see both sides, really and truly, because I want everybody to enjoy anime. Because, like at the top of the episode, I don't want anybody to get bullied. I don't want to have to see kids get bullied or hear about kids getting bullied for loving something, you know, like I was in high school. But at the same time, I also think it's a little. Sometimes it's making anime worse, you know.
Yeah. It's that vocal minority where it's that, like we talked about it before, but it's like, you know, the unfortunate alt-right anime fan, they just don't want change, and they don't want people to tell them that their favorite anime is actually a leftist anime and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They get mad, you know, they see people having discussions about maybe anime is a little too pervy. Can we talk about it? And they see it as like, you know, no matter what political fucking side of the spectrum, it's, they're taking away my anime titties and I won't have that. It's the same fucking playbook of, they're taking away our guns. It's like, let's just, they're getting defensive and they're getting aggressive before anything actually happens, instead of just sitting there and being there for the conversation.
Yeah. Be mad at the companies like who are denying you what you want, you know? Be mad at Crunchyroll. Be mad at Sony.
Yes.
Be mad at something that is actually causing you problems, you know?
They see if we learn anything from One Piece, it's that the ruling class is keeping us down, people, okay?
Exactly. So go to Crunchyroll headquarters and please do not cut that out of context. Go to Crunchyroll and don't do that. Don't edit that. Don't edit that either. Actually, throw in a borf over anything that does not come out right, future Earthworm. Was that all borfs? I sure hope not.
It's all borfs.
It's all borfs. Throw in a borf in this episode every time I say something stupid.
Oh, no.
I don't think Matt was in this episode. I just heard borfs.
Borf.
Imaishi. Borf.
I just did one. I'll just take the audio file and stretch it out so it's just borf.
Oh man, you're gonna have new borfs to use from because Spy Family's new season starts.
Oh, let's go, baby. Time to borf it up.
New canvas for me to paint my masterwork on.
I should have a whole ass folder of fucking all the borfs that Bond does.
You should, because he uses different borfs when he gets wet. He
what?
A borf.
Oh, okay. It's like, hold on a minute. What kind of Spy Family are you watching, buddy?
That's why they put the X in Spy Family. Hey, I'm not a furry, but hey. Hell yeah. Reference.
Look at we should hire IKEA Plant as like an episode fucking director guy, guy to come up, because he just got us talking for like, what, a half an hour?
Yeah. Yeah, they really drew out this episode.
Jesus Christ.
You know, IKEA Plant, we got a job for you, but we're not going to pay you.
No, we have zero. We actually have $0 in the Patreon fund right now. Just cleared that bad boy out after 3 years.
Here's what you'll get, IKEA Plant. You'll get a stern, crisp handshake.
You got a handshake and a solid reference to your next factory job.
By the way, I don't take calls from numbers I don't know. So I don't know how that's going to work out for you. All right. I'm tired of talking. Let's leave.
Okay, we're going to leave. Before we leave, though, join the Discord. Link is in the show notes. Join the Patreon. Link is in the show notes. Rate and review us if you're listening on Apple and Spotify. But no matter where you're listening, press that little follow, check mark, plus button. Follow us on that podcast platform so you never miss an episode. I'm going dead leaves out of this bitch, baby. I am Fire and Gun. Go to animesery.com, read Maddie's blog, and vote on the seasonal awards if you are listening from the hours of 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. Is it a.m.? I think it's 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. when this episode releases. If you are not, it is too late. You have been shot by a million bullets. Hoo-ah! So until next time, we will be covering another Imaishi work. I have been Earthworm.
And I've been Matt.
And we're the Anime Brothers Podcast. Bye!